I know we're here with John Combs. John had an amazing performance tonight. Got it done with an arm-in guillotine.
Yes, sir.
What was your preparation like going into this match with Pedro Rocha?
Very short notice. So honestly, in between when I knew I accepted the fight, I went to Atlanta. I trained real briefly at Creighton MMA and just did some light flowing. It wasn't anything too in particular. Then arrived here, just hung out. Wasn't too much of exactly a preparation for it, man. This just,
When did you find out about the match?
Monday at noon, and then there was a little of back and forth. We weren't exactly sure when it would be set. And then it was around Tuesday at 2 p.m. that it was set. I was going to get the fight. And then we got my flights in Atlanta, so I was like in between Jacksonville and Atlanta, and it's like, all right, I'm going to arrive in Atlanta, I'm going to get on an airplane, I'm going to go back, and I'm going to arrive back in Atlanta. It's just craziness, so yes.
So can you walk us through the finish there? Pedro is known as a guillotine guy, and you're also known as a guillotine guy.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
walk us through the finish. How were you able to get it done?
So I was trying to work my knee slice game a little bit against him, and this was something that Professor Moll and I had spent, I think 5-6 months working our passing, and I was stuck in a inside Senkaku, and I was kind of feeling I couldn't really get the underhook. He wasn't going for much. We both already received penalties, so I kind of feel like something had to happen. So I leaned to the left, like pretending to almost give up a single leg, and he kind of came up on it, and I was like, yay, and grabbed his neck, got the guillotine, and he fell for it, and that was great. So I kind of baited him into a little bit. Excuse me, Comatine.
Nice. So what are your plans for 2020? What are the big events that you want to do, and what are your goals?
So definitely BJJ Fanatics. There's a tournament coming up at the end of February. That's a big goal of mine. The other one would have to be the East Coast Trials. November is going to be here real soon, and I want to make sure that I don't have to rely on any stinking invitation. I want to seize my spot like I did last year. So make sure that I get my spot, and apart from that, more no-gi super fights. I'm still debating. I've had a couple interviews. I'm not sure about Pan Ams. I have my points. I may or may not do it, but I'll come to a decision on that in a couple weeks. But definitely more no-gi super fights.
Is there anyone that you want to face going into 2020?
I mean, I already
other than the call that you made tonight, kind of leading into there, you called out Canuto tonight.
You look at the rankings, it makes sense. I think he's somebody that would make an exciting match. Apart from him, I would like to angle with JT. That's the top dog. I look up to him a lot. He's built a life for himself in New York that I would like to emulate at some point. He's got a great kids program, great academy, represents himself very well, and that is what I aspire to become. And if you want to become the man, you got to take the man down. So that would be a fight that I'd like to have at some point in the future. Also, Wagner, he got second in the ADCC, so that's another matchup I'd like to get. But just look at those rankings, man. If there's somebody in that top 10 spot, I want to match with them.
So you're looking at the rankings, looking to climb up in 2020, looking to do ADCC, and keep on taking fights.
Couldn't say it better myself, man. Heck
awesome.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it. It's been a pleasure covering you. Appreciate the interview.
Cheers. Thanks a lot.